Hello and welcome to Haybridge Model Rail. I'm Alan, and in this video we are starting to put together some scenery. I've set up a little test to see if some magnets that I've picked up from a friend will work and activate the reed switch, which I've embedded underneath the track. And the reed switch is under there, which is embedded into this piece of MDF for testing. Now I'm going to turn this to register continuity, and hopefully we can see that we do get a reading. And before I go any further and install this on the layout, I do want to make sure that it will actually trigger the circuit. So I am going to have to bring down from the loft layout one of the circuit boards that has got a reed sensor on it, and I'm going to connect that in and test it to make sure that I get a signal. And if I do, then I think we can safely move on to the next stage and start installing the reed switches under the track. Now, because this is N-gauge, the magnets are that I need to get the distance for the triggering are quite big, so I've actually filed that, and once I got through the outer layer it sort of disintegrated a little bit, so I've ended up with more or less half a magnet, which fits in between my axles on the bogie. But it does the job. Once I know it's definitely working, I've got some more that I can cut up, but I want to make sure that this is absolutely right before I go any further, because otherwise I'm going to be searching for magnets again, which I might do anyway, but it proves that it does work and that I can have the magnets embedded under the track, which is good, and that's what I'd really like for future layouts, because it makes everything a little bit more authentic. I've also made a start working on the tunnel portal, which will conceal the 2-lane fiddle yard section of the layout, which will also double as a tunnel, and then as I build on, single track will come out the other end to complete the loop going around the layout. But I've just made a start. I've cut out the arch. I have offered it up. Looks like I've got plenty of space. That's the internal wall sections that have been cut out, and a bit of scenery and everything to start coming together and bringing the layout to life a little bit more. We're going to be working on the new single tunnel portal and the tunnel area, which will cover these two inside tracks as we're looking at it, and that's going to give us our little fiddle yard in this section. I have some L-shaped polystyrene which I've managed to save from packaging. I'm going to use that as the side wall and top, and I'm going to leave the inside open in case of any derailments, but also make a cover for it so that I can make it look as realistic as possible when you look through the tunnel mouth. So I've worked out my position for where I want the tunnel mouth to begin, and I've got two Mark 1 coaches which I've been offering up to make sure for clearance, which I'm happy with. So I've made some small pencil marks just on the outside, and the tunnel mouth is going to be fixed in place permanently. The polystyrene that's going to cover it, I will make it removable, because at some point in the future this track here is going to be extended to join onto another board. When that happens, I'm not sure, but it's allowing for expansion. I've applied a few drops of super glue to position the tunnel portal in place, and the next job will be to offer up the L-shaped polystyrene and see how that fits. Well, I've cut my L-shaped polystyrene and formed it into the tunnel, and I've made up 3 supports on the other side, glued them in position with some PVA, and now I'm just allowing them to dry so they become solid. This is the L-shaped polystyrene that I've been using. I'll need another bit obviously because I still have a section here that needs to be filled, and then the tunnel will continue on to the next baseboard in the future. That's where we are now. Welcome back to the next part. So I've been working on the polystyrene, glued a section on top, and I was busy carving away until the wire from my hot wire cutter decided to break. So I'm waiting for replacements, but in the meantime I think I'd done enough sculpting to add a layer of what they call one strike, which you can get from DIY stores, and that gives a nice finish which I'll be able to paint up eventually, and then we can get this this tunnel grassed up and all scenic and put in place. Then once I've got the reed switches fitted and I know where they're going to go, this can be set in place permanently on the layout. But for the moment we're waiting for some new replacement wires for the hot wire cutter.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.